So I really wanted to touch on this again, especially since your one is coming back with nonsense, okay? Okay. Gina Carano, am I saying it correctly? I don't want to mispronounce anybody's names, but I'm terrible at mispronouncing names. Sometimes I mispronounce my own name. So, Gina Carano, right? From The Mandolin. I haven't seen it yet, but love Yoda memes. I'll take it. Someone told me that the Yoda on there was not Yoda, and I flipped out. Like, I had any right to flip out. I don't even watch it, but I was just like, I don't understand what you're saying. Anyways, Gina Carano. This is going to be her name for now on this stream. She is saying that Disney and Lucasfilms are bullying her. Seriously, you're an adult. Okay. So they're bullying her. How? Why? Because they are attacking her conservative values. Let's discuss what conservative values are, or at least what I grew up knowing what conservative values were. Conservative values were about, like, not having big government, conserving finances, pretending like you worry about the budget, right? That was conservative. Now it seems like conservatives have just completely decided that being a jerk and bigoted to other things is conservative values, which is very disappointing. I don't know why they've chose to cling on to that, but they're deciding that being intolerant and bigoted to other people who aren't like them are their conservative values. Disappointing. I could deal with Republicans when they were just like, oh, I don't think we should spend that much money or something like that. But they have definitely become a different thing. I feel like they're going to make another party or something. And that's fine with me, because then maybe the left can make their own party. And that would be great. It would be great. But let's not dream right now. Let's talk about Gina. Poor Gina is getting bullied. People were debating whether or not she should have been fired, and even people that, like, I usually agree with that are on the left were saying that it was wrong that she got fired and she shouldn't get fired for her speech and stuff like that. No. She should have been fired. I am sorry. She has had so many opportunities. She also says TERFy things, but this time they were like, that's it, honey. Because she had compared being a conservative / Republican in the United States to Jews in the Holocaust. Hold on. Okay. Are you having your rights taken away somehow? Are you in concentration camps? Has your family been killed in front of you? Like, what are you talking about? That is so inappropriate. And naturally, you're going to get the boot for that. That's just what's going to happen because you work for a private company. A lot of people keep confusing what free speech is. Free speech involves the government. So when you work for a private company and they decide that they don't want you anymore for the ridiculous things you said and how you're representing the company, they get to fire you. If the government, like, put you in prison or something or told your boss to fire you, then you have a free speech issue. But if you work in the private market, they get to do whatever they want to maintain their work environment, to maintain their reputations. And honey, you work for Disney. You work for Disney. Like, they are trying to keep face. Like, they're terrible and they take advantage of a lot of their employees, but they expect their employees to come out and smile when they leave the car that they're living in. So you put a smile on your face. I know I'm paying you poorly and you live in your car, but this is Disney. We gotta make people happy. So I'm sorry. You work for Disney. Not a freedom of speech issue. If I, if I started acting up, that was a weird voice. If I started acting up and it was like my boss at my job saw me acting up, they would fire me because then I would be representing my job in a terrible way. People would then be like, oh, somebody who works there, they must like have a terrible work environment, right? Or like they may be hiring like terrible people. I don't know about them. You have to represent your employer. And if your employer feels like you're embarrassing their company, they get to get rid of you for a myriad of reasons. And it's not cancel culture. And it's not like free speech issue. It's about how you're representing the company. That's it. That's it. Like, this is my favorite meme. I like say this a lot jokingly in certain situations that backfire on me. Well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. That's what it is. That's what it is. They're calling cancel culture and also they're also saying, oh, let's cancel Disney. So you don't like cancel culture, but now you're also saying cancel your subscription and cancel Disney. How does that work? What world do you live in? How does your brain hold all of the jelly in your head? How? I hate cancel culture, but let's cancel this thing. Now, the way you behave, you're going to have consequences. Like everybody has free speech. If you're going to have free speech, your employer and your job is going to have free speech to tell you to fudge off. That's just how the way the world works. And you have to think about the way your behavior might affect people at your job. Because are you telling me that you can say anti-trans things, like you can say TERFy things, you can say insulting things to about the Holocaust and having that upset Jewish people, and then you get to go back to work with like a trans person and then, a Jewish person? That's not how that works, because then you've made the environment uncomfortable. You've made the environment sort of hostile. And so then that's going to affect other employees. And that's not fair. You cannot affect the workplace of other employees or make that workplace feel hostile. So if I was a trans person and I saw her TERFy takes, the next day I have to work with her, I'm not going to feel comfortable. I'm not going to be happy at work. It's going to affect my work and it's going to affect my workplace. And that's not okay. And that's another thing your employer has to think about. Is your behavior affecting the workplace and other employees? And guess what? If it is, you're going to have to leave. You're just going to have to leave. And then you can just like sit there and just be like, oh, wow, this is what happens when I'm a jerk. You can call it cancel culture as much as you want, but people don't have to like you. That's not a given right to you for people to like you and for you to keep your job no matter what. If you're a jerk and a large amount of people decide that you're a jerk, you say bigoted things, and it makes them uncomfortable, that's your problem. It's not theirs. And that's the consequences of you being an a-hole. Live with it. If you're going to be an a-hole, live with it. You know what is inappropriate. You're an adult. You know what is bigoted and intolerant. Be an adult. If you work for a large media outlet, You know that they sign contracts. You know they sign contracts. And those contracts definitely stipulate your public behavior. For sure. No doubt about it. So you're telling me she signed a contract with Disney and the contract didn't stipulate any sort of like public appearance or the way that she's representing the company in public? Jennifer, I'm sorry that you had to deal with your consequences. Like, you had a lot of chances. I personally, if I was a manager or something like that, I would have gotten rid of you after the turf stuff. You would have been gone. So you're going to have to deal with it. And it doesn't bode well for you that after you do all of this, you go and sign with Ben Shapiro. You know, Ben Shapiro talks really fast to try to make himself look smart, but just says nonsensical things. Also says that Palestinians love living in their own filth. Yeah, that Ben Shapiro, is that how you're gonna roll? Then girl, roll on. Bye. 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 Yeah. I have no time for it. I have no time for it. Yeah, she got fired, deserved it. Girl, go to unemployment and hang out with your friend Ben Shapiro. Hey, it's Godiva. Thanks so much for checking out my video. Make sure to follow and check me out on Twitch when I'm streaming live so you can catch this in the real time. While you're here, make sure that you subscribe, like, ring-a-dingy the bell. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Not so much on Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram. All right. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.